Alright, I think no intro for this one, Nick, because this is a serious fucking day. Why? Because we're taking on a monumental task, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to emulate Mr. Tyler, the Creator.
You know what I said? Words pull up, Blackmore hop out. Shout out to my mother and my father. Hold up!
For anyone who doesn't know who Tyler, the Creator is, again, you're probably living in a f***ing, like, whatever. But Tyler, the Creator, he is born Tyler Okoma, but I know he doesn't like that name because, you know, family shit. But anyway, Tyler, the Creator, has been making music since I think he was like 17 or 18. First with Bastard, and then Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb, Flower Boy, Igor, and the most recent album, which is called Call Me If You Get Lost. So all of these albums are great. In my opinion, probably Goblin is like his weakest album, because Goblin or Bastard probably, but that's his like first two, so obviously it's gonna be his weakest one. Yeah, he really gained proper mainstream traction with Flower Boy for sure, and then Igor just was an insane album. And so today we're taking off, and I'm a bit intimidated today because we're taking on the monumental task of trying to emulate Mr. Tyler, the Creator, which is no easy feat. Let's not speak much and let's get right into it. For my particular track, I started off with a brass ensemble. Pretty much Tyler, the Creator, loves using instruments like brass instruments, and so I thought I had to add it in. The brass instruments I use are all from BBC Symphony Orchestra, which is a free plugin, so go get it. I've said this many a times. Yeah, so I used a trumpet, 2 trumpets, a trombone, tuba, and 2 tubas, and this is what it sounds like. Alright, so that's the general progression. I think the key of my track is in E flat major. Okay, so according to this plugin, Hornet Song Key MK2, it's in the E flat major. This is the progression I made. I didn't really think too much. I kind of just picked a note and then went for it, and I just kind of duplicated with the octaves. For the intro, I wanted to make it like it's sounding like something was about to happen. So I added these like these crowd background like ambience thing. With the trumpets and everything, it sounds like this. Yeah, so it creates like a little bit of a ambience. I think with just the brass, it sounded a bit too, I guess, empty, and that's why I put the crowd to just kind of add ambience and background. And then from there, we get into the meaty stuff, which is the typical, which is like, I guess, the beat drop. I'll just play it for you and then I'll slowly go into it one by one. This is how the beat drop sounds like. Alright, so I guess let's go right into it. I'm sure a lot of people know this, but Tyler, the Creator, really likes old synths. So I kind of use a lot of Arturia plugins for this beat because a lot of Arturia's instruments are based off old synthesizers. So a lot of the main saw wave that you hear is actually from the Mini V3. So I kind of just took one note. I only played the D sharp note, and I think I used the chorus lead preset on the Mini V3, and it sounds like this, just one note. Yeah, so I just took one of that note, and then I put a lot of chorus and I think a few other effects to kind of widen it even more. And initially at the start of the beat drop, I only used one note, and then eventually it became like almost like a chord, because I pitched up one by 7 semitones and the other by 3 semitones. And if I'm not mistaken, that is what a typical minor chord is, in case you guys don't believe me. I know a major is a 4th and a 7th semitone up. Yeah, so a minor 3rd plus 3 semitones and a 7th, so a perfect 5th. 3, 7. So technically this is actually playing a chord. Yeah, and I'm not even playing another note. I think I just pitched using the envelope here, you can see. Yeah, I just pitched that by 1 semitone to make it sound eerie. The next thing I use is another mini V3 preset called the Analogic, and it sounds like this. I just took the brass progression and just chucked it in here. And then I found this preset on the Mini V3, which just sounds it sounds a bit kind of reminds me of Who Dat Boy a bit. It's called B-War, and if I play it, you'll see what I mean. I put around the head on this thing just to make it move and stuff, just a great movement. So that's pretty much the top layer for that initial part. Oh, sorry, yeah, I also have this melody, which I played on the keyboard. As you can see, it's like really off time. Really off time, but it sounded cool. I put a chorus around the head, and the preset I use on the Analog Lab 5 is called Aftertouch. Yeah, Aftertouch on the soft lead type. So use it if you guys want. And then the last top melody thing that I use is this, another Mini V3 preset. It's called the Lucky preset. It sounds like this. So I just used the tremolator. I used the fast roll to slow down preset, but I remember like tweaking it a bit. So if you guys want to copy the preset, here you go. And together the top melodies sound like this for the first drop. Yeah, so that's pretty much the first drop, and then we'll get right into the drums, which is also my favorite part of Tyler the Creator beats. So if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people I think seem to come to the same agreement that Tyler uses a lot of drum breaks when he makes his beats. He could also just be playing live drums, but if you can find good drum breaks, which you can, go online, you can find like a lot of free packs of drum breaks, and that's what I did for this beat. And I started off with this drum break initially. Yeah, so that was the original drum break. I then layered it with my own like kick and snare. Yeah, it sounds like this. Yeah, so not every kick of mine actually hits the same time as the original drum break. I did it just to, it's almost like a call-in effect, like a little syncopation thing. It's not very noticeable initially, but yeah. And then I played these hats like kind of live on my keyboard. Not really live actually, I think I drew them in. Yeah, I drew them in. Again, vary the velocity so it sounds more like natural, and this is what it sounds like. And then I found this loop as well on Splice today, which is, yeah, to be pretty simple. I just put a bit of reverb, a bit of auto pan just to make, this is like me just being very lazy, and instead of like cutting it one by one, I just kind of do this so that the volume can duck. Besides that, again, I put Decapitator on it. The all magnificent drum fastener preset. If you guys don't have Decapitator, go fucking get it. It's so good. You could it literally turns any like shitty sounding drum into the thickest bitch ever. And I put Drums Room, which is another Ableton preset that I always preach, because a lot of Tyler the Creator's drums are live drums, not like trap drums. I think it kind of was a good time to use it, and so yeah, I put in Drums Room so they make it sound more live sounding, and yeah, this is what the drums sound like. Yeah, like the difference is very subtle, but it is a slight difference. And then the classic spins 808, because there's a reason why everyone uses this, because it sounds good in every beat for some reason. And I didn't really do a crazy pattern because everything else is going nuts. So I just kept it relatively simple, and I put the mid driver decapitator preset on it. Sounds like this. That's pretty much it for like the first section of the beat, because I kind of just did like very minor arrangement things where I just took out parts. So here's like a little bridge, but I just took out like the drums and I kept all the high melodies. Then it comes to this B section, which is very piano influenced. Yeah, let's take a listen before I break it down. Alright, so the drums are pretty much the same, so I'm gonna skip past them. I just took out the fast like hi-hat thing. Yeah, so this is the chord progression that I came up with. Honestly, it's just the standard 2-5-1 chord progression. The only difference is this time is that at the end of the original 2-5-1, I took the whole thing and put it down by one semitone. I'll link a video down below. It's a video by this guy called Sailor. And he actually is the one that originally taught me this technique that to create like Tyler the Creator sounding chords. And it's just 2-5-1 progression in the D sharp major scale. The chord progression, the piano I'm using is the Jazz-ish preset. Again, I put the piano velocity MIDI, and also I went in and kind of just drew it and played around with the velocity so it sounds more human made instead of like me just drawing it in. I then like accompanied it with this Juno preset called the Broken Arrow. It looks like I've tweaked it, so I think I just put the release up so that, or I put the release down, but it sounds like this now. Honestly, just get the crack it or whatever, just get the Juno thing. If you're on Mac like I am, I feel your pain, but yeah. And then violins, because you know it sounds great and Tyler Creator loves his violins as well. Again, it's from the BBC Symphony Orchestra. I then also had this staccato thing by the violin. And then I got this arm, I believe, off another Analog Lab preset. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember what the preset is, but if you guys have Analog Lab, get it, use it. It sounds so good. This is what it sounds like. The reason why it sounds very choppy is because I also put it to the beats transient. And then I played the chords on my guitar. Micro shift, I like to use this acoustic guitar clean wide preset on my guitars. It sounds really good for some reason. And then I put a bit of reverb, Valhalla Room reverb. And then just again on my guitar, just played like really simple melody. Yeah, I used my guitar to make the bass line as well. And that's pretty much the beat, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys learn a thing or two. This is my attempt at making a beat for Tyler the Creator, even though why would he ever need a beat from me? The point of these videos is that to teach you guys like techniques that you can use in your own production. I'm not telling you to like 100% copy a particular artist. Even this beat that I made, that I tried to emulate it, I'm not like trying to copy 100%. I still believe I added some of my own personal touch to it, which is why I don't think you can ever 100% copy another artist. I mean, you probably can, but you get what I mean. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and learn a thing, like some techniques you can implement in your own beats that I feel Tyler does, which is using a lot of juxtaposition in your beats. It's a very nice technique. I personally use it in my production and shit. The beat's gonna play after this. Let me know if you guys think that I succeeded in emulating Tyler the Creator, and peace.